Hi, so this is Vishen Lakhiani from Finer Minds, and I have to share with you an experience I had with the Lefkoe Method. Now what happened was I had the pleasure of meeting Morty Lefkoe at an event in Hawaii, and so we were sitting on a beach and Morty told me about the Lefkoe Method and the wonderful work he's done for thousands of people, and I asked him to actually put me through his system. Now the whole thing about the Lefkoe Method is it helps you get rid of beliefs that you have developed as a child, beliefs that might be influencing the way you see your health or the way you see money or the way you see your life. So Howard took me through this exercise and he asked me to bring up something about my life that I wanted to change, something that I knew was due to a bad belief system. Now I had this issue, and it's a health problem. It's a little bit personal, so I don't want to go too much into it, but I've always known that it was a health problem that I've been manifesting with my mind. It was basically a skin rash on my shoulder, and I've had this since for as far back as I can remember, more than a decade. I've always known that it was psychosomatic in nature. In other words, something that I was creating with my mind, but I've tried different forms of meditation, visualization. I've not been able to get rid of it because it's been so deeply rooted in my mind, something since I was a kid. Now when I went through the Lefkoe Method, two things happened. The first thing that happened was after going through this exercise, after 25 minutes sitting face to face with Morty in Kona, Hawaii, I had this sudden realization that, and it was really wonderful realization, that I was no longer part of my body. In other words, Vishen existed, but the body was not Vishen. Rather, Vishen was almost like a puppet master pulling the strings of a body. In other words, I saw myself as being beyond my body, as being greater than my body, and my body simply being a vehicle for Vishen to use in this experience of life. Now it was a weird realization. It wasn't a kind of spiritual feeling of awareness or enlightenment that some people report from meditation. It was more a logical conclusion. Howard guided me through that. So that was one really interesting, fascinating aha moment. But the second surprise happened months later. So here's what happened. 2 months after this, I was traveling. And every time I travel, I take some cream with me to put on my shoulder for this ridiculous skin infection that I had. And I've been traveling for years, always had to carry this cream with me. And I just got back from a trip to Los Angeles, and I unpacked my bag and I realized that I had not used the cream. And this was the first time I remember in a decade that I traveled, been on a 10-day trip, and not once did I unscrew the cap on that bottle. Now I just attributed it to something else, but a few days later I remembered, wait a minute, I'd just gone through this exercise a few months back, and the ailment we attempted to get rid of was this rash. Somehow that mental block in my head vanished, and as a result this psychosomatic rash that I'd been creating for decades also vanished. I don't know, but what I can say is it's too much of a coincidence. And I'm really, really, really happy that I got to meet Morty and that we got to sit down on that beach in Kona. He got to put me through the Morty Lefkoe Method, which I think is just incredibly powerful because I tried everything, but this worked. I'll retract this testimonial if it comes back, but so far it's worked phenomenally. I've not had to use the medication right now it's been 4 weeks. So thank you, Morty.